Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Table Rock Sports. We have the Cascade Christian Challengers taking on Hosanna Triad, a little high school basketball action in May. Of course, with the unprecedented school year that we've had this year, the spring sports that ordinarily are beginning to wrap up at this point in time, they've already done their thing, and now for the indoor sports of winter, now they're getting their opportunity to play. And the Cascade Christian Challengers coming into tonight with a 2-0 record on the young season and looking good, looking right where they left off from contending for a state championship last year when they finished runner-up at the Oregon 3A tournament against Oregon Episcopal. With that being said, it's a different team than what we had last year. One of the things that came out of COVID, Cascade Christian picked up a lot of new students. However, by the same token, with so many seniors that were slated to play going into this year, many of them with this basketball season going beyond graduation, some of them said, I need to get on with my life, and so they're not playing basketball this year. But even with the new challengers, Mark, you have to like what you see so far.
Well, you do. It's a very interesting mix of kids this year for sure. And looking down there right now, you see a couple of senior transfers that came over from different schools in the Valley, helping out to sort of fill in those spots, as you mentioned, that kids decided not to play this year. And so that's been a good thing for the Challengers. And then, they have a good core of guys back as well with, Cody Reese and Braden Coppage and some of those kids as well. Matt McFeeder's back from last year's team. So you've got a good core along with, the new guys, so to speak. But they've been playing together now for quite some time. So I think, as you saw in the first two games, it'll be a good mix of kids for the year this year, and it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Well, I think one of the things that will be interesting to watch will be the depth question and how the Challengers handle that if you have a situation where maybe you have hopefully everybody stays healthy, though, and out of foul trouble, and that's not so much a problem. But if you look at this Cascade roster, it's got some youth on it this year.
Well, it most certainly does, and once you get past those couple of senior transfers and McFeeders and Braden Coppage, the rest of the guys are fairly young, especially when you look at the Maurers, who are both freshmen this year, and you've got Danny out there, Danny Nearing, who's a sophomore. So there's a couple of guys out there with some definite youth to them. Cannon Anderson as well, an incoming freshman. So when they do have to go to that bench, you're going to definitely see a drop-off in age for sure anyway,
right.
And experience, because a lot of those kids haven't played a lot of varsity basketball.
So we invite you to stick around. We're just moments away from tip-off. We got about 5 minutes left to go in our warm-up time. The Challengers coming in with a 2-0 record. Took a couple games last weekend. On Friday, a victory against Dakes Creek where they held their opponents to just 15 points. And then on Saturday, the Challengers limited the Lancers to just 20. So the Challengers defensively off to an especially impressive start, but offensively very productive as well. What we'll go ahead and do right now is we're going to go ahead and take a timeout. That will give us an opportunity to recognize our sponsors, and then when we return, we'll get you ready for the start of today's ball game right here on Table Rock Sports.
At Circle K, powered by GP Energy, you can turn an ordinary lunch break into something extraordinary with crispy, crunchy chicken. Grab and go their delicious chicken, chicken tenders, famous biscuits, and tasty sides. MyCircleK.com.
US Cellular believes everyone deserves 5G. That's why we've included 5G on all plans, no extra charge, whether you're working or playing. All US Cellular plans include 5G, no extra charge. Get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G free with no hidden requirements. US Cellular.
Get the latest 5G phones for free today at Siskiyou Cellular, an authorized agent for US Cellular with 7 Valley locations. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Fuel your daily adventure at My Circle K, powered by GP Energy. Whether it's morning motivation to get your day going, adding crunch to your lunch, fueling up for a road trip, your journey begins with My Circle K, powered by GP Energy.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Welcome back to the pavilion at Cascade Christian High School. Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore on the camera today, Diego Jimenez. And so we're getting ready for the start of today's ball game. I want to remind you that for almost 50 years, Bill's Glass has been the clear choice in Southern Oregon for your home, vehicle, or business needs. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass supports our schools and our communities. We're just a couple of moments away from game time, and Mark, you work with the JV boys program. One of the things that's just kind of really hit me this year, and we see it's no different in the winter sports, that it really has been a very fluid year in terms of maybe not seeing some guys that we thought that we might see, but on the other hand, seeing some new faces. You talked a little bit, and we've got a little bit of time. Talk a little bit about some of those transfer players like Morgan Law and Levi Marincus and what they bring to the table.
Well, Levi, an excellent three-point shooter, and that's what you're going to see from him. He's going to be on the perimeter, on the three-point line, and he can knock them down with regularity. Very good from outside. Will drive occasionally, but likes to shoot the ball from outside. And then Morgan Law, he's a solid, very fundamental player. I would say he's very similar to if you saw Joel McLemore, my son, play when he was here at Cascade. Morgan, very similar to him. Not the fastest guy in the world, but can get buckets, and that's what he'll do for the Challengers.
Well, and we been used to over the years the Challengers being a little bit vertically challenged, but we don't have that problem anymore.
No. You pick up a kid like Austin Maurer at 6'10", and suddenly all those problems go away, and he's been really good. If you haven't seen him play yet, he's worth just coming down to the pavilion to watch this kid play. He's going to be something special. He's only a freshman, 6'10", can definitely handle the ball. Needs to work a little bit on his upper body strength. But other than that, he's going to be a really, really good basketball player.
Well, when you look at his gene pool, his grandfather, an 9-year NFL veteran, Andy Maurer. His dad got a cup of coffee with the NFL after an outstanding career at Oregon State. And then his mom, a college volleyball player. So a lot of athleticism in the family. We'll also see Peyton Maurer out there from as well, and he will bring a lot to the program. So a lot to look forward to and a lot of new faces to see, and we'll see how it all works together. Right now, both benches are assembling. They're a little bit of conversation there. We'll check and see. I would expect that we would have an introduction of the players, but this being our first home game of this season, it's kind of anything goes, so we'll see.
Well, it doesn't look like they have anybody over there to do the actual introduction, so I would suspect we're just going to go here, and that's what it looks like is going to happen.
All right, for the Cascade Christian Challengers in white, you have Morgan Law wearing number 25, Cody Reese, the point guard, number 1, Levi Marincus, number 2. Also out there is Braden Coppage wearing number 4, and then it is Austin Maurer wearing number 34 for Cascade. For Triad, 0 is Keaton Kenneset. Wearing number 15 is Wyatt Sparks. Also out there I have number 3, Micah Young. Number 11, Dakota Deal. And then, let me see here. He turns his back to me just right. Number 21, Blake Throne. So everybody's back at their benches now.
I think there must be a little bit of issue maybe with the clock. Not sure exactly what we're doing.
Checking, that's the whole thing. I mean, you got getting the rust out of everything, and I expect, Mark, if we keep our rust to a minimum, we should be okay.
Yeah, there's always going to be a little bit of that being the first game of the year here for us. So back to some of the new players for the Challengers real quick while we have a minute. Austin Maurer and Peyton Maurer, twins. You wouldn't know it by looking at them. Obviously not identical twins,
no.
But Austin 6'10", and Peyton about 6'3", 6'2.5". And I tell you what, Peyton's trying to catch up. So anyway, it looks like we were waiting for one of the officials who's back now, and I think we're ready to go.
All right, the Hosanna. Now here's kind of an interesting situation because actually it's Hosanna Triad. Now Hosanna Christian and Triad are two different private schools in the Klamath Basin. This year, as we have seen, COVID's really done a number, and the uncertainty of this year's done a number on the small schools. We saw that a lot in boys soccer. We even saw it impact football to some degree. So it's kind of a combined effort out here. I'm not sure. I believe it was Hosanna Christian that called themselves the Lions, and they're wearing Hosanna uniforms. So maybe we'll just go with that for the evening.
Yeah, I know it's a combined Hosanna Triad group that they have here. And a very good team from last year, if you remember right, went pretty far in the state playoffs, if I remember correctly, from last year.
Well, that's one of the things, one of the things that we've missed out on this year. It's not unusual for the Challengers to go over and play in a tournament over at Hosanna. And that features usually some of the best 1A schools in the state, including this one. Okay, so apparently, per COVID rules, we don't do a jump ball to open the game, so it'll be Hosanna, the visitor, with the basketball. Micah Young will bring it out of backcourt, and he'll have Cody Reese in his grill throughout much of the game. And Reese, if you're an opposing player, he's a headache. We'll have a steal by the Challengers. Maurer comes up with it. Up the floor it goes to Marincus. He lays it up on the right hand. His shot no good. Maurer tried to get there with a putback. It comes out to Coppage. Now Reese swings it for Maurer. Maurer can shoot from range. That one in and out. Rebound comes to Micah Young.
So both teams come up empty on their first possession.
Young out of backcourt. He shows some nice quickness on the drive there. His shot off to the right. That's Marincus with the rebound. And he had a couple of second-place finishes at the state 3A track tournament. High jump and long jump.
Yeah, had a nice tournament.
And he had a nice soccer season, too. I tell you, it was a nice find for our crew. Challengers come up empty on their first two possessions of the ball game.
Challengers playing man-to-man. Hosanna in the zone to start the basketball game here.
Thrown across court. Kenneset over to Throne. Throne, bounce pass, back it goes to Young. Hosanna, shot from downtown. Deal overshoots everything, and the rebound's taken by the Challengers. Maurer with the basketball, feeds it back for Laws. Out on the wing it goes to Reese. Bounce pass baseline for Coppage. They'll swing it around the horn to Marincus. Marincus, you can see he thought about that three for a second, but thought better of it.
A little 2-3 zone from Hosanna so far.
Skip pass. Near baseline it goes, and they'll go back to Marincus, and his shot just a little bit short. Thrown with a rebound. Up the floor it goes to Kenneset. Dish it far side for Young. Up top it goes to Kenneset. Kenneset, much like his opponent, Reese, not a particularly tall guy. Now firing from downtown, the shot off target by Throne. Offensive rebound by the Lions. Bounce pass, top of the key. It goes for Young. Young picked up by Marincus. He'll try to work it inside, kick it up. Kenneset, his shot. That hits the side of the backboard. And Braden Coppage, surprisingly good rebounder for a guy his size at 5'9", comes down with the board.
Yeah, both teams struggling offensively so far.
Up top it goes for Reese. Law thought about it for a moment, but goes inside, and now ball's tipped away.
Right idea by Braden. He's got to throw that ball up, though. Remember, you got a kid that's 6'10". You can get it up there a little bit. He can go get it. That pass a little higher, that's probably a layup for Austin Maurer.
Well, he's not used to throwing to a guy that tall. The Challengers, up until this year, have had to be a kind of an undersized team. Drive by Law, misses the mark, but a steal out of backcourt. Morgan Law goes hard to the hoop with the left hand, and the Challengers get their first bucket of the ball game. It's a 2-0 lead for Cascade Christian. 4:40 left to go in the first quarter of play. Shooting from downtown is Young. His shot, iron and glass, taken by Marincus. He streaks up court. He'll pull up, feeds it to Coppage. Coppage goes to the hole. But as he makes his move, he is fouled.
So a real rough start so far for Hosanna Christian. They are 0 for 7 so far. Challenger defense, of course, always known to be one of the best in the state.
Limiting Days Creek to just 15 on Friday and only 20 on Saturday for the Lancers of South Umpqua. First free throw attempt by Coppage. That one in and out. It'll remain a 2-0 ball game with 4:29 left to go in the first quarter of play. Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore. Second attempt. He gets that one to go.
And as you can see, the new rules, the referee's not touching the ball. You'll see the teammates passing the guy shooting the free throw the ball from the inside the free throw line.
Thrown with the basketball, starts to make his move. He'll go ahead and kick it back out to Wyatt Sparks. He'll move right. Gives it to Deal. They'll try to dump it inside, but Law is there defensively with the active hands. They'll dump it inside. A little reverse move won't go, as the Lions now roughly about 0 for 9 so far to start this ball game. Deal up top, it goes for Young. Cross court, swings the pass over for Sparks. Sparks being guarded by Coppage. And you can see this Challenger team defensively, they're already fine-tuned on that score as it is.
Yeah, spent a bunch of time working on some of the defensive closeouts and stuff yesterday in practice.
Moving to his right, Sparks for Dakota Deal. They try to get to the top of the key, but Cody Reese right there.
And they're going to call foul on Cody for the reach-in, it looks like.
Timeout called on the floor. We will take one as well. 3:26 left to go in the first quarter of play. It is the Challengers 3, Lions nothing. We'll be back after this timeout on Table Rock Sports.
Way to ride would be just to get on the bus and go. RVTD helps me to be independent. The bus goes everywhere I need to go. I've become pretty good friends with even some of the drivers. They really care about the passengers. I have to use the power wheelchair, which makes it convenient to have to ride the bus because they have the ramps that go down so you can get on and off really easy. I feel very safe. Now more than ever, RVTD is a very important part of this community. I don't know where I'd be without it.
Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We've stocked up with over 200 new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from one of our largest inventories ever of new Jeep Cherokee 4x4s. Test drive a new Ram 1500 and see why Ram is Motor Trend's back-to-back-to-back three-peat truck of the year. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. You'll find the new vehicle you want at the low price you deserve. Only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Welcome back to the Cascade Christian Pavilion. 3:26 left to go in the first quarter of play. Eye Care Associates of Southern Oregon at 950 Royal Avenue in Medford. Hope you are enjoying today's game. They have a wide range of eye care services for the entire family. Visit eyecaresouthern.com to learn how Dr. Brian Mitchell and his team can help your vision needs. Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore. Also on hand, operating the camera, Diego Jimenez. Hosanna still looking for their first bucket of the ball game.
Yeah,
Get a set.
Changing up their offense a little bit, trying something different here after the timeout.
Back up top it goes for Sparks. He'll work it right in front of the challenger bench to Young. Young, he'll try a long three. That one looked like it had possibilities, but would stick. And then the jumper missed by Deal. Challengers with the rebound. Law up the floor to Marincus, and he'll lay it up and in.
That's one thing you cannot let the challengers do is run. They like to run, and they will kill you if you don't get back on defense. And that time, Hosanna not back.
5-0 ball game, and with the answer, Dakota Deal.
Knocks down the three to make it 5-3.
.230 left to go in the first quarter of play. You still see even the challengers, even though with a little bit more success, having a little bit of time getting it dialed in, but there's Morgan Law with the triple.
Yeah, again, Morgan, good shooter from outside, good ball handler, very fundamental kid.
Well, he's got a little bit of meat on those bones there.
Yep. Good strong kid inside too.
Steal by the challengers. Cody Reese, the defensive whiz. He's going to go ahead and drive through traffic and throwing it down. Austin Maurer.
A nice pass by Cody that time.
Little showtime by the challengers here late in the first quarter. Moving to the hoop, trying to get that one to go. No go. Danny Naring is in the ball game for the challengers. And Daniel, he's one of those kids. I remember getting a chance to take a look at him last year at the JV2 level, and Mark, you worked with him quite a bit.
Yep.
I think he gives you more than you would expect.
Well, and he's a good space eater, and he knows what to do with the basketball down on the block, and that's always helpful. If you can do what if you know what to do with that ball down there. He's a good scorer when he gets the ball down on the block area.
Part of that perfect challenger football season as well. Loss feeling it, and he drains it.
Yeah, you cannot leave him like that on the wing. He will make those shots and makes another one there for the challengers.
And what we've seen in the first couple of games, I think it was Saturday, Mark, that they hit 8 triples. Meanwhile, making a move to the hoop, his shot a little bit short is Kenneset. Rebound comes back to Reese. Quickly up the floor it goes. Driving hard to the hole. And Coppage with it. He gets the glass, the hoop, and the harm.
And again, nice job by the challengers getting the ball up the floor. And good pass that time by Peyton Maurer to Coppage, cutting to the hoop, and an easy bucket for the challengers. And they are out to a nice lead now, 13-3.
And it's a 13-3 ball game. I'll make that. Here we go. They get the three-point play. So now with 49 seconds left to go in the quarter, 16-3 challenger lead. Young with the basketball. Hounded by Marincus. They'll fire it over in the short corner, making a move to the hoop. A block is called against Braden Coppage, and I guess this gives me an opportunity to say if there's one thing about Braden's game that he has to watch, he can be physical, and sometimes he's been known to get in a little bit of foul trouble.
He has been. So far this year, though, in the 3 games that we've played, he's done a good job of not having that issue come up. But here early, he's picking up his first, so he needs to stay out of trouble here to the half.
That's the first team foul for the challengers. They dump it in the corner. Young tries to make a move, tipped out of bounds, and it was last touch. You could see it from here by Wyatt Sparks. Good call by the officials, and now the challengers will go ahead and walk it out of backcourt with 30 seconds left to go in the frame. Law with the basketball, fires over for Marincus. Marincus back up top. They'll swing it around for Peyton Maurer. Morgan thinking about a shot there. Instead, the lefty, Maurer, fires it a little bit long, but Marincus there to clean it on the glass. He can't get it to go. He'll try it again, and a little volleyball match underneath the hoop. And coming away with it is Hosanna with 4 seconds left. Meanwhile, Young's going to go ahead and fire from downtown. His shot off the rim, no good, and that will end the first quarter of play. After one, it's Cascade Christian 16 and Hosanna Triad 3. We'll take a quick timeout, and then we'll be back with more for you here on Table Rock Sports.
pretty good.
All right, back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, Challengers lead 16-3. Table Rock Sports says thank you to the over 100 new YouTube subscribers this spring. It helps keep us and the games going. Go to youtube.com, search Table Rock Sports, and click on the red subscribe button if you would like to join the team. And again, thank you very much. Taking a look at some of the offerings that Table Rock has. There's some action going on after this game tonight. Girls basketball, it'll be black and blue as South takes on North at 6:45. Boys game, North and South will be going at it over at the Panthers' place this evening. And then also at the, we got a little action going, girls basketball. We see 5A and 6A kind of playing together under these COVID circumstances. It'll be Crater visiting Grants Pass, 6:45 basketball game. And then also we'll have more action for you. We'll talk a little bit more about the Challengers' challenging schedule coming up here in just a moment. Cody Reese with the basketball. Fires the long skip pass over to Marincus, and he used some of that leaping ability to reach up and grab it. Feeds it to Law. Law, cross court it goes. Marincus has a look, and it's just a little bit short. Young with the rebound from the weak side. Marincus with a good defense there against the Lions. Up the floor it goes. Cody Reese drives hard to the hole. He lays it up and in.
And that's what Cody's been doing so far this season, getting himself to the rim. Nice move that time to get all the way to the rim for the easy hoop.
Well, he's got the quicks, no doubt about that.
Challengers in the 1-3-1 now. This is the other defense they like to play. It's a little extended 1-3-1. They don't necessarily trap, but they try to steal the passes. They try to limit you to where you can go on the court and steal the passes, get in the passing lanes.
Now we'll feed it inside and making a move to the hoop. Wyatt Sparks.
And he's going to get himself a trip to the free throw line.
Foul will go against Cascade Christian. That'll be their third team foul. I don't see it up on the board, so your guess is as good as mine on who the...
Pretty sure it was on Marincus.
For Levi, I believe that's his first foul of the ball game, is it not, Mark?
Yep.
Free throw attempt. No good, and now the Challengers get the basketball back. Opening moments here of the second quarter.
I think they called a lane violation because the Challengers took it out. Otherwise, they just would have, turned and gone
Let
up the
it
court.
go. Coppage in the corner, starts to make a move along the baseline, fires it out top for Reese. Reese swings the pass to Laws. Laws, around it goes to Marincus. Love that quick ball movement. Law, far baseline to Coppage. Now Marincus has a wide open look, and he can't get it to go. Rebound by Young. He'll take it out of backcourt.
Good shot by Marincus. He's definitely open. He's going to make one of those sooner or later.
Yeah, he's definitely on target. And we have a timeout called. And with 6:20 left to go in the half, Challengers lead this one 16-3. John L. Scott scoreboard.
It takes meticulous planning. Continuous monitoring and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
I'm Pat Cox with Sherm's Food Stores. The employees of Sherm's are proud to be part of your community.
We have thousands of customers in our stores every day, and our checkers know a lot of them on a first-name basis. They tend to enjoy what they do, and they love it, so it reflects in how they treat the customer.
If you live anywhere in Southern Oregon, there's a Sherm's store near you. We hope to see you soon.
If you shop with us, you
Back here at the Pavilion, Challengers up 18-3. Shot from downtown, and it's off target by Hosanna. Cody Reese out of backcourt. Feeds it up for Laws. Laws finds Maurer at the free throw line. His shot rolls around and down.
4 points now for Maurer.
Austin Maurer, in his high school debut last Friday, 16 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 blocks.
Yeah.
I can think of worse ways to start your high school career.
Well, it helps when you're 6'10", right?
Can't coach height. 20-3 ball game. Cross court pass it goes for Kenniston. Kennisett. Now fire from downtown. Nice looking shot from Young.
Yeah, Young's their scorer. You can see that from watching him play. He's already taken, that's his 7th shot. He's just 1 for 7. That's the first one he's made. But
got good handles too.
Yeah, he does.
Meanwhile, heartbreak for Coppage. Offensive rebound by Maurer. His little baby hook won't go, but Law is there. As the Challengers doing a nice job on the glass this evening.
And Morgan with a 3. Another one. That gives him 11.
(23-6) ball game. Meanwhile, shot from Deal. It's off target and short.
Unfortunately, off a Challenger and out of bounds to Hosanna.
Now checking into the ball game for Cascade Christian, Cannon Anderson, 5'7" freshman. I heard a lot of good things about this kid.
Yeah, he's a good player, good, solid, fundamental player. Won't hurt you when he's out there. Likes to drive. Very good driver.
Well, that's one thing you got to like, Mark, is this team has got so many different ways that they can get points against you.
And he will hassle you on defense, too, as you can see him doing.
So he's taking on Kennisett. Kennisett picking up his dribble. Tries to swing a pass inside. Taken away by the Challengers. Marincus out of backcourt. He's going to go ahead and slow it down a second. Gets over for Coppage. Coppage drives the baseline. He led the team in scoring with 11 against South Umpqua on Saturday. Fire it around. Anderson. Skip pass over to Marincus. Now the high post to Maurer. Over to Marincus. Oh, man.
You just can't get one to go because that one was right there.
Somebody put a lid on it. Going the other way, Young is shot just a little too hard. And just kind of an unlucky bounce there for the Challengers. But Maurer comes away with it. Outlets up the floor to Anderson. Anderson, good poise out of the backcourt. Loses it for a second, but it ends up going out of bounds.
Well, that's the first turnover of the game I have for the Challengers. So good job by Cascade of taking care of the basketball so far. 5 turnovers for Hosanna here early. And a timeout. Here's your media timeout.
Okay, a little media timeout, which means that gives us an opportunity to recognize our sponsors. And we'll be back with more on Table Rock Sports.
Coach, or plan to be a coach. What kind of coach do you want to be? This?
Hey! What is that? Come on, guys! You're killing me!
Or this?
I love it. I love what I see. I don't care about the mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Guys making millions of dollars on Sundays, they make mistakes.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.org.
There's a time machine, not so far away, that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day, and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens, called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
So glad to be here with you, bringing you high school basketball action. Today's game is brought to you in part by Avista Utilities and your friends at My Circle K, powered by GP Energy. Morning motivation, crunch in your lunch, and fuel for your road trip begins with My Circle K. And the presenting sponsor for Challenger Athletics is George Fox University, one of the premier private universities on the West Coast. Check them out today as you're making your college plans. Been quite a pipeline between Cascade Christian and George Fox. And right now, Challengers, midway through the second quarter, in control of this one at 22-6. Anderson with the defense against Jacob Cross, who's in the ball game. They'll work it up top, the throne. Right wing it goes. They get down to the corner to Young. Young being guarded by Reese. He'll get it back from Deal. Young trying to find an opening against the bigger, but maybe perhaps not quite as fast Naring, but the ball's loose on the floor, and Reese comes away with it. Reese out of the backcourt with the left hand. Quickly up the floor to Marincus. His shot won't go. Rebound to the Lions. Up the floor quickly they go. Thrown with a move to the hoop. 2.
Yeah, and unfortunate that time not to finish the lay-in and then get the run out on the other end for the Challengers.
Naring down on the low block, back to Reese. He'll try from downtown. His rainbow comes up just a little bit short. We have a whistle underneath the Challenger basket.
And that's going to be on Hosanna. A little push in the back that time by, looked like by Deal, pushing on Daniel Nearing, and he's going to pick up the personal.
Marincus going to come out of the ball game along with Anderson. I get a kick out of Marincus. Quickly became one of my favorite guys on our soccer team this year.
He's a good kid.
He brings a lot of energy to the team. And meanwhile, we got a errant shot underneath the basket, a whistle-stopping play.
And another foul on a push on Daniel Nearing as he's being very active underneath. Blake Throne this time picking up the personal. Nice job by Daniel on the backboard.
So that's 14 fouls now for Hosanna Triad. Coppage going to try one from downtown. A shot no good. Naring had it and had it knocked away by Hosanna defender. Whistle on a foul called against the Lions. And that will put Hosanna at 16 fouls. Inbound to Coppage. Top of the key. He's going to move to his left. He's got that guard size, but he really has more of a forwards game. Law to Reese. Swings it to Law. Now he'll feed it to Naring. Naring, little lefty jumper there along the baseline, won't go, but Maurer's there. He'll try it, and that won't go, but Law with the putback.
Morgan Law cleaning up the glass.
Putting that 6'2 size to good use. 24-8. Challenger lead is now 16 in the ball game. Thrown to Young. And you always figure Reese is always going to get the other team's best perimeter player.
Absolutely, and he's got him tonight, as you can tell.
Bounce pass. Goes inside to Sparks. He kicks it back out. Kind of gives you that sense that the interior game is just not the strength of Hosanna. Shot off target by Deal. Rebound by Reese. He'll wheel and deal out of the backcourt. Now for Maurer. Maurer can shoot from there, and he can't get that one to go. It is Naring fighting for the rebound, but Young comes away with it. Young with the basketball. Swings it out. Shooting from downtown is Deal. His shot no good, and Throne climbing all over Daniel Naring, and the officials caught that. And now the Challengers should get free throws out of this by now, right?
Yeah, I would think so, and he says it's 1-1.
So Naring will go ahead and work his way. I've known this kid since he was probably, 5-6 years old. And I just, how big he's grown.
Yeah,
and been a real big part of the Challengers football team along that line, and will represent a good core for that Challengers team next year.
Yeah, he's their center in football, and he does a great job of snapping the ball. Matter of fact, this year I was thinking about this earlier this week. I don't remember a bad snap this year from him.
No. Did a really nice job, part of that Challenger team that had a perfect season, capped off by a win against the favored Santiam Christian Eagles. Between the circles with the basketball is Dakota Deal. Back to Young. Young directing traffic. He's got space, and he's going to take on Marincus. Marincus isn't going to roll over for him, though. Young tries to make a move. Feeds it. Try to go inside, and there's Marincus. And as we have
a whistle and a foul.
Yeah, that'll go and gets thrown. And that will send Levi to the charity stripe. Yeah, three-sport kid, but this is the sport that has been kind of his stock and trade over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a really athletic player. He's still trying to kind of get his feet underneath him, though, from track.
Yeah.
Because the state stuff was just last week.
First free throw attempt by Marincus is good. 51 seconds left to go in the second. And they're not the only ones trying to find their feet. I just was reminded, hey, it is the second quarter, and I had to make that change on the John L. Scott scoreboard. So it is almost halftime in case you're just joining us. Challengers leading in the ball game by a score of 26-8. Both teams started out a little bit cold, but the Challengers getting points on the break. Generally speaking, taking pretty good care of the basketball today. And in control of this one. Maurer checking back into the ball game. Austin Maurer, his brother Peyton, wearing number 10, is also in the ball game. Young out of backcourt against Marincus with Reese on the Challenger bench. Micah Young with the ball, driving to his left. Bounce pass. Making a hard move to the hole with just a little bit too much English on it by Sparks. Now the steal in the backcourt. It's thrown with the basketball. Going to kick it back up for Young. Young gets a look from downtown, and he drains it.
Yeah, you cannot leave him open, that's for sure. And Challengers with a turnover right there, unfortunately.
26-11 ball game. Just 10 seconds left to go before halftime. Law with the basketball. Now to Marincus. Law starts a drive. Levi, now 1 second left to go, and Law's going to fire it, and his shot just a little bit short. Your score at halftime, the Cascade Christian Challengers, 26, and Hosanna Triad, 11. We'll take a quick timeout, and when we return, we'll have the halftime show for you right here on Table Rock Sports.
At Circle K, powered by GP Energy, you can turn an ordinary lunch break into something extraordinary with crispy, crunchy chicken. Grab and go their delicious chicken, chicken tenders, famous biscuits, and tasty sides. MyCircleK.com.
US Cellular believes everyone deserves 5G. That's why we've included 5G on all plans, no extra charge, whether you're working or playing. All US Cellular plans include 5G, no extra charge. Get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G free with no hidden requirements. US Cellular.
Get the latest 5G phones for free today at Siskiyou Cellular, an authorized agent for US Cellular with 7 Valley locations. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Fuel your daily adventure at MyCircleK, powered by GP Energy. Whether it's morning motivation to get your day going, adding crunch to your lunch, fueling up for a road trip, your journey begins with MyCircleK, powered by GP Energy. At MyCircleK, powered by GP Energy, you can turn an ordinary lunch break into something extraordinary with crispy, crunchy chicken. Grab and go their delicious chicken, chicken tenders, famous biscuits, and tasty sides. MyCircleK.com.
US Cellular believes everyone deserves 5G. That's why we've included 5G on all plans, no extra charge, whether you're working or playing. All US Cellular plans include 5G, no extra charge. Get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G free with no hidden requirements. US Cellular.
Get the latest 5G phones for free today at Siskiyou Cellular, an authorized agent for US Cellular with 7 Valley locations. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Fuel your daily adventure at MyCircleK, powered by GP Energy. Whether it's morning motivation to get your day going, adding crunch to your lunch, fueling up for a road trip, your journey begins with MyCircleK, powered by GP Energy.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Welcome back to the Cascade Christian Pavilion, and halftime. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats with Mark McLemore. You ready for us?
Oh, yeah. Good first half for the Challengers, although they didn't shoot the ball particularly well. Neither team really has shot the ball well in this basketball game. Challengers 10 for 31 in the first half, 32%. Hosanna, though, 4 for 28, just 14% in the first half. So that Challenger defense doing a good job against Hosanna as far as their shooting percentage goes. Challengers 4 for 6 from the free throw line, 67%. Hosanna 0 for 2. Turnovers, Hosanna with 7, Challengers with 2. So Challengers doing a good job taking care of the basketball in the first half with just the 2 turnovers. And actually 7's not a terrible number for Hosanna either, as they've done a good job of taking care of the basketball. Scoring for Hosanna, Micah Young has 6 points on 2 3-pointers. Dakota Deal with 3. And Blake Throne has 2. For the Cascade Christian Challengers at half, Cody Reese has 2 points. Levi Marincus with 4. Braden Coppage has 2. Morgan Law doing most of the damage. He's got 13 points in the first half for the Challengers. And Austin Maurer with 4. So, really, Morgan Law has done a great job here in the first half. He is 5 for 7 for those 13 points. No one else really have shot all that well tonight, but he's really carried the Challengers in the first half.
Well, you can see, and that's one of the things I thought about coming into the night. Always, this early stage of the season, it's so hard to get a read. I mean, you can look at the first couple of games, the Challengers. You would look at the stat sheet, the box scores, and you'd say, well, they've really played some stellar, choking, lock you down type defense. But then you kind of look at it and you go, okay, well, I guess this opposition, maybe I would expect that. So it's still at that early stage in the season where not only I think we're still trying to read what kind of team this Challenger team is, but I think it's got a boatload of potential. Don't get me wrong there. And also similarly, I think this team is still kind of figuring out, and these players are, you talked about Levi Marincus coming off of the track season. Well, we've got a whole bunch of guys that are kind of in that similar boat that they have had to quickly come from playing other sports. Now, I know that there's been open gyms, and Coach Morris and you guys with the staff have worked hard to, kind of keep at least a little bit of a basketball form about them, but there's nothing like doing what they're doing now.
Well, and doing it together, because really that's the other thing. This group hasn't been together all that long either as a group. There's a couple transfers, a couple freshmen, so you mix it all up, and it is a group that's still learning, and you can see that a little bit. It's not a real smooth game of basketball yet for the Challengers. They're picking their places to score, but what you saw too is around the rim, still a lot of little chippies getting missed, layups, putbacks, and etc. that the Challengers normally, later in the season, those are not going to be misses, those are going to be put in the basket. But right now, still trying to get their legs underneath them and figure that out at game speed, being just the third game they're playing in the season here. And it's always a little different in the game than it is in practice. And you saw Levi Marincus, for example, tonight. He's really struggling from the field. He's 1 for 8, but he is taking good shots. It's not that he's not taking good shots. And the last game we played, he was making a lot of those.
Well, and he's not bricking his shots.
No, he's not.
I mean, the form is good. You can tell it's there. It's just a little bit off target, and your margin for error is not the same when you're shooting it from the outside. Now, to counter that, the Challengers have a pretty active schedule, but we just learned moments ago, because of a COVID case involving a player with Cresswell, the game that had been scheduled for tomorrow is off the docket. But I have heard, and keep your eyes and ears open, and here at Cascade, I can promise you I'll do the best I can once I know, as far as maybe a replacement game for that. And I think Coach Morris, knowing him, he'll take all comers as far as doing what he can to get his team better. Now, this boys team will be on the road on Thursday night against Brookings Harbor. That gives me opportunity to talk about now every home game that pretty much, with one or two possible exceptions, we'll be broadcasting here on Table Rock Sports, be it boys or girls. We started out with about 8 guys games scheduled, about 5 girls games on Thursday night. Our plan is to live stream the game coming up between the Challenger girls and Brookings Harbor, while you and the boys, because you're working with the JV staff, that you'll be over at Brookings Harbor. Of course, you keep me posted on the scores. I'll make sure we relay them to our folks watching here at home. And generally speaking, I think most places you go, you'll find somebody trying to do a live stream somewhere, knowing that things have opened up a little bit more. I mean, we can look here tonight, and we got one side of the auditorium with fans in it, a mixture of Hosanna fans and some Cascade fans here, but there's still a little bit of a limit on that, and we'll just do the best we can, and I think it's been the MO all season long, and it's just going to continue to be that way, that we'll just do the best we can with the cards that we're dealt.
Yep, absolutely, and we'll bring you as many games as we can, especially the ones that are here. And I think the Challengers, they have the core for a really good team this year, and there's lots of talk about how the season will go. I think that Brookings game is going to be a very good test for them on Thursday to see where they're at. Brookings probably one of the better teams in the league this year. Usually
and always tough at home.
And always tough over there. As a matter of fact, I don't think the Challengers, since they've come into the league, have beat Brookings at Brookings, even with all the good teams they've had.
Well, this might be the year, but didn't they end up winning the championship in baseball?
Wouldn't surprise me.
The culminating week, because and you saw them, and they looked pretty ferocious.
Oh, they looked like the best team we saw, that's for sure, in baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, before we get ready for the start of the second half, I want to remind you that sports leagues and activities for the entire family are coming your way from the Bedford Parks and Recreation Department. It's time to sign up now for summer fun. By the way, you can go to playmedford.com and you'll find the Coach Pistole softball camp July 12th through 14th, and that is led by the SOU National Championship head coach and players. You also find junior golf lessons and USTA youth tennis programs, along with all your favorites. Visit playmedford.com and register today. Okay, now, I learned my lesson from the first half. You can see I'm going to change that to the third period. And I'm going to go ahead and go to...
And it looks like Hosanna is going to get the ball here to start the third quarter. And the Challengers with, Cody Reese already trying to figure out how he can stop Young.
26-11 ball game. Young with the basketball for Hosanna. Up at the top, Sparks passes it over for Young. Young's going to try one from downtown, and it rims off, no good. However, Hosanna keeps the basketball, thrown with it. He's going to start a drive. Dishes back out, kicks it back out for Young. Feeds it inside, but it's taken away by Marincus. Marincus with the basketball out of backcourt. Braden Coppage with it. Feeds it to Law. Lays it up with the left hand. 2.
Like I said, this team knows how to run, and I think they're going to probably push the pace here a little bit in the second half.
28-11. Challenger lead is 17. Law has been the shining star thus far tonight. Bounce pass. Challenger's got some hands on it, but couldn't come up with a steal. However, off the miss, Reese with it out of backcourt to Laws. Laws will push the pace a little bit. Get it over in the corner to Maurer. Skip past to Marincus. Reese. Maurer, he's going to try a triple, and it rims out. There is Coppage with it, but it is taken away by Hosanna. Quickly up the floor it goes. Thrown with the basketball. Now up top for Kenneset. Sparks out of the high post. Swings it around. Kenneset looking for something inside, but Coppage fronting Deal.
And the Challengers doing a good job of defending this little X set that they're doing where they're crossing, trying to throw the ball into the post and then crossing in front of them.
Kenneset guarded by the bigger Laws. Sparks, top of the key, is going to make his move against Maurer. He's going to go hard to the hole.
Maurer's going to pick up a little pushing foul.
And I believe for Austin that is his first of the ball game.
That's what I have. But, as you said earlier, they're not really putting the fouls up on the scoreboard, so a little hard to tell.
Now the Challengers get the basketball back. Excuse me there for a second. I'm still trying to work with that John L. Scott scoreboard. Can't get that thing to come back up. But it is a 28-11 ball game. Challengers on top in this one. Coppage makes a move, picks up his dribble, kicks it back out for Loss. Loss with the basketball over in the corner. Feeds it inside to Reese. Reese will kick it out for Marincus. In and out. But there with the rebound is Law. He'll try it. His shot a little bit long. Reese there going to try to save it, but he could not. So it will be Hosanna basketball.
Challengers with a couple opportunities there, not able to cash in. And, you know, that's some of the things that we're seeing with the Challengers is getting some good looks and not really shooting a high percentage, but still with that defense able to keep the lead.
They're in the high post. Sparks with the ball. Guarded by Coppage. He'll move to his right. Now to Throne. Throne guarded by Law. Making a move is Young. Young swings it over. Five from the corner is Deal. And he cans the three to make it 28-14.
And timeout by Hosanna after the made basket.
All right, on your John L. Scott scoreboard, it is Cascade Christian 28. Hosanna Triad 14. We'll be back after this timeout on Table Rock Sports.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
I'm Pat Cox with Sherm's Food Stores. The employees of Sherm's are proud to be part of your community.
We have thousands of customers in our stores every day, and our checkers know a lot of them on a first name basis. They tend to enjoy what they do and they love it, so it reflects in how they treat the customer.
If you live anywhere in Southern Oregon, there's a Sherm's store near you. We hope to see you soon.
If you shop with us, you will save money.
Back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore on the camera, Diego Jimenez, and the Challengers here in the third with 5 minutes left to go in the frame. Lead in this one by a score of 28-14. Reese with the basketball to Laws. Law has been kind of their shining spot tonight. Reese tries one from the perimeter. Heat check, still a little cold out there, so it'll be Hosanna with the rebound. Young over for Kenneset. You can tell it's just really a perimeter-based game for Hosanna. That they don't have that guy that they can go to that can kind of create his own shot and force the action on the inside.
Well, they're trying to rely on Young creating and then passing out to the perimeter, and that's the second time in a row he's dished it out to Deal for a three.
28-17, Challenger lead down to 11. Swing it for Marincus. Now near baseline for Austin Maurer. Reese. Law over in the short corner. And he gets the triple.
And Brian Morse with a 30-second timeout.
All right. Timeout here. And that will give us an opportunity to recognize our sponsors. Challengers lead by 14. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Navy for 4 years. I went in for education, employment, and travel, and the Navy gave me all of that. I have medical appointments out of the VA Dome. It's a big blessing to us veterans to have transportation, to be able to get out into the community and get involved. I have a cart and do my grocery shopping. When it's loaded, they lower the ramp for me so I can get it on the bus. Now more than ever, I think RVTD is the bus company with a heart.
Back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, want to remind you that the Eye Care Associates of Southern Oregon at 950 Royal Avenue in Medford hope you are enjoying today's game. They have a wide range of eye care services for the entire family. Visit eyecaresouthern.oregon.com. Again, that's eyecaresouthern.oregon.com to learn how Dr. Brian Mitchell and his team can help your vision needs. Also, for almost 50 years, Bill's Glass has been the clear choice in Southern Oregon for your home, vehicle, or business needs. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass supports our schools and communities. 3:56 to go on the third.
And Morgan Law having a night. He's got 4 threes and 3 twos so far in this one, and really has been the difference for the Challengers so far.
Well, now, he came to us from Grants Pass, correct?
That's correct.
And
very nice kid, very coachable, and really, had to learn sort of a new system for him, especially defensively. The Challengers running that, pack line defense, I believe they call it. And he's been really done a great job of getting up to speed and integrating himself with the other kids, and it's just been fun to see. Really good basketball player. Solid fundamental.
31-17. Challenger lead is 14. Thrown with the basketball to Young. Swing it out. Kenneset to Throne.
Challengers in the 1-3-1.
Marincus there almost jumped up and took that one away. Young with the basketball. Talked about Law coming to us from Grants Pass. Marincus transfer from North Medford. Corner of the free throw line it goes. Sparks now out to Throne. Throne is shot way short, no good. There with the rebound is Coppage. He'll work it out of backcourt. It goes to his left, now to Reese. Pass a little bit behind him. Coppage going to pull up. Now Marincus going to get a look from the corner. His shot just a little bit short, but Maurer had a hand on it for a second. And now the ball ends up rolling out of bounds. And the official?
Challengers.
Gives it back to Cascade.
Yeah, Maurer can't bring that ball down. I don't know if you noticed that. That's, when you're 6'10", if you catch the ball up high, you need to keep it up high so that the little guards can't knock it out of your hands like Young came in that time and knocked it out of Austin's hands.
Especially maybe if your hand and our upper body strength aren't quite there yet.
Right, exactly.
And that's just something only time's going to take care of. You figure this kid was 15? And so he's still working out how to move with that frame he's got. Marincus swings it up top for Reese. Guard-to-guard exchange. We're over for Law. Now Naring's going to try from 10. His shot a little bit flat. Rebound to Jacob Cross, who was in the ball game. Off the Hosanna bench. Over to Young. Young guarded by Law. And it looks like the Challengers have kind of used a number of different defensive matchups on Young. And they've all seemed to have worked fairly well. Steal by the Challengers. Law has it out of the backcourt to Reese. Reese turns on the Jets, kicks it back up to Marincus. Marincus pulls up from 10, and he can't get it to go. Rebound by Sparks. Sparks, the outlet for Young. Young starting to make his move, almost loses it for a second, keeps it, Thrown. Now in the deep corner, Cross is going to try it, nothing but air. Rebound to Law. Law goes behind the back. Dishes off for Reese. Reese looks inside for Maurer. He lays it up and in. Nice entry pass from Reese. And the finish by Maurer.
Yeah, that's the way to get the ball inside that time. A little bit of, you can do that sometimes in transition when they haven't had a chance to set that zone, and that's exactly what the Challengers did there.
33-17. Young, his shot way off target. Marincus is going to let it go harmlessly out of bounds. Into the ball game is Peyton Maurer. And am I right? He's done some growing, I think,
yes,
since last summer.
Even since football. They measured him for football, and he was just barely 6 foot, and he's a little over 6'2" now. So he's definitely growing quickly right now.
Well, as I recall, Grandpa was about 6'3", And then Dad Marty was about 6'5". Missed by the challengers. Young with the ball out of backcourt. Thrown with a shot. That one goes long, but man, he manages to collect the carom. Works it up in the corner. Guard to guard, it goes to Young. Young trying a little crossover move on Marincus. Levi a little too quick to be fooled by that. 23 seconds left to go in the third. Up at top it goes for Kenneset. Now to Young. Young's going to pull up from 10. His shot no good, but we have a whistle, and to the delight of the Hosanna faithful.
Going to go on Levi, I think.
But unofficially, no challengers in foul trouble, correct?
Unofficially. I think that's just Marincus' second.
Young with the free throw attempt. That's good. It's a 15-point game. Challengers leading 33-18. Coppage is in. Daniel Naring, who goes about 240 on that 6'1" frame. Young connects on the second. 14-point ball game with 11 seconds to go in the third. And we have a whistle and a timeout called by Cascade Christian. 33-19 ball game. I think we'll go ahead and keep it right here and get a plug in for Bill's Glass. They've been serving the community for over 50 years, and they're the clear choice in Southern Oregon for your home, vehicle, or business needs. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass supports our schools and our communities. Also want to thank it's our sponsors who make this live high school athletic action available for you, including our title sponsor, Lithia Superstore, Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler. Visit lithiasuperstore.com to find your next ride. Also, thanks to Siskiyou Cellular of Southern Oregon, our presenting sponsor with 7 locations to serve you. 8.1 left to go here in the third quarter of play, and the challengers pretty well in the driver's seat on this one.
Yeah, they're going to run some sort of an out-of-bounds play here, I would imagine. We'll see what happens. I know they've been working in practice on some end-of-the-quarter and end-of-the-game scenarios, and I would imagine they want to practice one of them here. So we'll see how that works for them. Against the zone, it's a little bit tougher. And that zone Hosanna's been playing pretty much the whole game so far.
33-19. There we go. We got that bad boy up and running again. Got that John L. Scott scoreboard again. You can see it's 33-19. 8.1 seconds left to go in the third. Challengers inbound. Law has it. He's going to pull up and shoot. That shot just a little bit short. Ball's loose on the floor. And I hear SOU from the bench.
Yeah, you don't really have time to do any of it, but we'll see. With .1, I don't even think you can catch and shoot.
I almost have to be a volleyball tip. Marincus, shot at the end of the quarter, comes up short. After 3 quarters of play, it will be the Challengers 33, Hosanna 19. We'll be back after this timeout on Table Rock Sports.
By Circle K, powered by GP Energy, you can turn an ordinary lunch break into something extraordinary with crispy, crunchy chicken. Grab and go their delicious chicken, chicken tenders, famous biscuits, and tasty sides. MyCircleK.com.
US Cellular believes everyone deserves 5G. That's why we've included 5G on all plans, no extra charge, whether you're working or playing. All US Cellular plans include 5G, no extra charge. Get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G free with no hidden requirements. US Cellular.
Get the latest 5G phones for free today at Siskiyou Cellular, an authorized agent for US Cellular with 7 Valley locations. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Fuel your daily adventure at My Circle K, powered by GP Energy. Whether it's morning motivation to get your day going, adding crunch to your lunch, fueling up for a road trip, your journey begins with My Circle K, powered by GP Energy.
Here we are getting set for the start of the fourth quarter. Cascade Christian in control at 33-19. Challengers come out with a lineup of Cody Reese, Levi Marincus, Morgan Law, Austin Maurer, Braden Coppage, inbounding Law to Reese. Reese quickly double teamed. Get it to Maurer. Maurer dumps it off for Coppage. 2.
Tried to kind of jump the challengers there, jump Cody Reese, but he was ready for it. Made a nice pass to Maurer, and Maurer with an assist to Coppage.
Young up the floor, goes to Throne. Throne shot short, no good. A little action along the baseline. You had Marincus and Sparks fighting for the basketball. They say Levi touched it last. Sparks will inbound. Up top it goes for Young. Young drives to his left, guarded by Reese. Trying to get rid of the defender. And it's taken away by Reese. Reese outruns the posse out of backcourt, and he misses the shot, but he's fouled.
Fouled by Throne, I think, and that's got to be at least 4 on him, by my count.
And that'll send Cody Reese to the free throw line.
Cody with a nice steal there. I tell you, when you're playing on offense, you do not. He just lives in your back pocket, is what he does.
First free throw attempt, nothing but net.
That's why Coach calls him the menace.
He is definitely that. Yeah, he's one of those guys, everybody hates him, but his teammates.
Yep, exactly. You don't want to play against him because he's going to guard you. He's going to be in your back pocket the whole game.
Yes, he will. Young with the basketball, drives the baseline. His runner looked like it had possibilities, but wouldn't stick. So Deal's going to fire from downtown. That won't go. And Reese gets the long rebound. Reese will walk it out of backcourt. Back for Laws. Law with the basketball. Now for Marincus. Back to Morgan Law. Law's going to try the triple. In and out. But there's Maurer with it. Well, he's that close. You don't stand a chance.
No, you don't.
Challenger lead is now 20. Up top it goes for Young. Young moves to his left. They'll get Reese with the foul there. But it's been a relatively, you look at team fouls, Challengers with 3 in the second half and just 1 for Hosanna.
Yeah, and I think that's just Cody's second by my count, so he's been doing a good job because Young's been handling the ball most of the game, and he's only picked up those 2 fouls.
Well, and I think, again, it speaks to that Hosanna's a perimeter team, and so you're not going to get a lot of inside action where you're more likely to draw the foul.
Well, the Challengers do a good job of not allowing people to get into the inside of the key as well.
Well, and then you have that 6'10 guy to deal with, too.
Exactly. If you do get in there, then what are you going to do?
Right. You probably end up with Wilson stamped on your head. Young with the shot. That one no good. Ball's loose on the floor. Maurer fighting for it along with Sparks. Sparks gets it down to Throne. Throne. Cross-court pass. Goes over to Deal. Now for Young. Young against Reese. He's going to try to make a move there. Ball's tipped around. Coppage comes up with it. Coppage to Maurer. Maurer the basketball. Feeds it to Marincus. A little razzle-dazzle attempt there, but it didn't work out. Law with the steal for the Challengers. I don't think Coppage is going to try a dunk. Law goes with the left hand. It won't go. Coppage will kick it out. Now Maurer will go from distance. His shot no good. Law tries to tip it around, but it is Young that comes up with it. Quickly out of the backcourt it goes. Driving hard to the hole. It's swatted away by Levi Marincus.
And the Challengers doing a good job with their length. Hosanna having some trouble with the Challenger length. There's several blocked shots in this game, and timeout looks like by, I think it was Hosanna.
All right. Well, they called the timeout. We will do the same.
And it's a full timeout.
We'll take a quick timeout to thank our sponsors, and we'll be back with more here on Table Rock Sports.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, once again, for those of you who are looking at the possibility of maybe checking out a game against Cresswell tomorrow, unfortunately, we understand that game has been canceled due to a COVID situation, but that the Challenger Brain Trust trying to do what they can to see if maybe they can't get something else in. Otherwise, the boys will be in action again on Thursday on the road against Brookings Harbor. The girls will be here at home, and we'll be video streaming that game for you live on Table Rock Sports. Hosanna Triad with the basketball, trailing by 20 at 39-19. Kenneset with the rock. They work it down low for Sparks. Sparks kicks it up for Young. Young going to try to drive the baseline. Kenneset against Maurer. And now a steal by the Challengers by Austin Maurer. Maurer to Law. Up the floor it goes. Back to Austin Maurer. Baseline jumper. He knocks it down.
First one he finally got to go outside the key area.
And he can shoot out there.
Yes, he can. He's got good form. He can make a three or two usually as well. He hasn't shown that today.
Meanwhile, Young's going to try to do anything he can to get some offense going. Had a rejection by Austin Maurer underneath. Foul called against Cascade Christian. And that'll go against Austin Maurer. His brother Peyton wearing number 10 in the ball game. Young, free throw attempt. That one rims out. So Challenger lineup for you. Law along with Austin Maurer, Daniel Naring, Peyton Maurer, and Levi Marincus. Law out of backcourt. Up the floor it goes to Marincus. Marincus, little fake. Now they get to Naring, and he knocks it down from the free throw line.
First bucket of the night for Danny.
And a steal by Law. Law quickly out of backcourt against Young. He'll glide to the hole. He lays it up and in. 45-19, 3:49 left to go in the ball game. Challengers cruising along in this ball game.
Really doing a great job defensively. Only 19 points for Hosanna.
And a block along the baseline.
Yeah, Young's now 2 for 15 from the field. Challengers have really been covering him well tonight.
Timeout called, 45-19 on your John L. Scott scoreboard.
It's a full timeout.
So we will take one, and we'll be back on Table Rock Sports.
Coach, or plan to be a coach. What kind of coach do you want to be? This?
Hey! What is that? Come on, guy! You're killing me!
Or this?
I love it. I love what I see. I don't care about the mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Guys making millions of dollars on Sunday, they make mistakes.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.org.
There's a time machine not so far away that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore and Diego Jimenez. 3:35 left to go in the ball game. For you aficionados of high school sports, I want to remind you that there is more action at TableRockSports.net tonight. Girls basketball action, 6:45. North and South Medford going at it. Then black and blue hoops over at South as the Panthers lock horns with the Black Tornado. Girls basketball action as well as Crater travels to Grants Pass. Again, all of those are 6:45 starts. Meanwhile, inbound by Hosanna Triad with the basketball. Kenneset being guarded, hounded by Cannon Anderson, who makes his first appearance of the second half. Young against Marincus. Goes inside. He's going to have to kick it out for Throne. Throne makes a move. He'll come back out. Now they'll kick it out for Kenneset. He'll start to make a move. Now kicks it back out. Young going to try a deep three, and he can't hit. Ball goes out of bounds, and it will be challenger ball with 2:56 left to go. 45-19 if Hosanna, tell you how stingy the Challengers have been defensively. If somehow Hosanna can get another bucket, they will have scored the most points that anybody has against the Challengers so far on the young season. Points come at a premium against this Challenger defense. Now Marincus going to try a bomb, and he gets it to go.
Finally got one to go, and he's been open out there all night.
48-19. 2:30 left to go in the ball game. Marincus with a pair of free throws in the first half.
He's got 5 points here in the second. Full timeout by Hosanna.
All right. Timeout call. John L. Scott scoreboard, 48-19. Cascade with the lead. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
I'm Pat Cox with Sherm's Food Stores. The employees of Sherm's are proud to be part of your community.
We have thousands of customers in our stores every day, and our checkers know a lot of them on a first name basis. They tend to enjoy what they do and they love it, so it reflects in how they treat the customer.
If you live anywhere in Southern Oregon, there's a Sherm's store near you. We hope to see you soon.
If you shop with us, you will save money.
Hosanna basketball goes out of bounds.
And Cannon Anderson doing a great job of just hounding Kinzer.
Well, showing us what he can do, and freshman has many promising days ahead of him in the Challenger program. Young kicks it out. Throne's going to shoot it, and his shot is long, and Marincus has the rebound. Levi out of backcourt, 6'1" guard. Drives the floor, kicks it up for Coppage. Coppage from downtown, his shot long. Sparks with the rebound. Out it goes for Throne. Throne, though, looked like from here he went off his foot. They say it was last touched by Cannon Anderson. 1:38 left to go in the ball game. Night shift coming in for Hosanna. Young, his shot way short. Rebound to Maurer up the floor. It went to Marincus. And we have a foul called.
Not sure who that's on. I didn't catch that.
I didn't either.
I think it was called on Kensinger.
So now into the ball game. Garrett Little wearing number 23. Drew Reichewert, number 4. Inside it goes for Naring. Naring, the little baby hook, won't go. Gets his own rebound, and he tries again, and that won't go either. Also in the ball game is Jacob Cross wearing number 5. Number 31 is Micah Smith. And number 40 is Owen Deal. So, brain trust for Hosanna Christian emptying the bench. Naring at the free throw line. First free throw attempt, nothing but net. Daniel Naring makes it 49-19. Second attempt on its way. A little too much English, but there's Coppage with the putback. 51-19, your score with 1:09 left to go. Little out of backcourt, being hounded by Anderson. Anderson right in his grill, and they're going to go ahead and whistle Cannon for the foul. Nonetheless, I like the aggressiveness.
Cannon doesn't know any other way to play. I've coached him a little bit this year, and he plays hard every minute he's out on the court. You got to like that about a kid like that.
No taking plays off there. And a steal by Anderson. Anderson out of backcourt. He's going to go to the hoop with the left hand, and the shot no good. Marincus tries to corral it and has it stripped away. And there with the basketball is Owen Deal. Deal out of backcourt. It goes to Reichewert. Reichewert with it. Micah Smith. Now to Little. Swings it around the horn, but there with the active hands defensively, as though it were 0-0, is Levi Marincus. Hosanna with the inbound. 32 seconds left to go. And again, another near steal by Marincus.
On the other side of the court, getting his workout in.
Yes, he is. Doesn't waste a second. Reichewert picked up his dribble. Now he's got nowhere to go and kicks it back out for Little. Little's going to shoot the 3 ball. His shot long, no good. Reichewert with it. And that will end the ball game. Cascade Christian runs their record to 3-0 on the young season with a 51-19 victory against the Hosanna Triad Lions. We'll take a timeout. When we return, we'll bring you the post-game show, give you the wrap-up and the final stats on the evening, and it's all right here on TableRockSports.net.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, the Cascade Christian Challengers now 3-0 on the young season after their 51-19 victory against the Hosanna Triad Lions from the 1A school from the Klamath Basin. Challengers, both teams kind of, you can tell that they're still feeling their way through it and just kind of finding their basketball feet, so to speak. It was kind of a little bit of a cold first quarter for both the teams at the outset, but the Challengers, as they often do, turn up that defensive intensity, manage to create turnovers, get points on the break, and then really instrumental in the ball game. It'll be interesting to see what his final stat line on the evening was. Morgan Law was huge for the Challengers in the first half. In the second half, as we saw also on Saturday against South Umpqua, the Challengers with a very balanced attack and points on the break, then ended up taking away a 51-19 victory. Again, they were supposed to play tomorrow night against Crestwell. That game has been canceled because of COVID-19. And last word we heard, they're going to try to get a game in somehow. I would just say if you're not already linked to Cascade Christian on Facebook, go ahead and like them there. And then if there ends up being a game or we got some kind of announcement to make regarding their disposition for tomorrow night, we'll be sure and let you know. What we can tell you for sure is that they've got a game on the road against Brookings Harbor on Thursday night, and what a heck of a test that should be in terms of a quality matchup for the Challengers. Meanwhile, the Challenger group will be here at home, and that game will be live streamed on Table Rock Sports, and that game is due to get started at 6 o'clock. Mark, you've got some stats for us.
I do, and the one that's amazing is the Challengers' defense tonight. And Hosanna shoots 6 for 50. That's 12% in the basketball game, so really good defense by the Challengers. 6 for 50 from Hosanna. The Challengers, meanwhile, 20 for 55, 37%. Still not on fire by any sense of the imagination, but when you compare the two, obviously the Challengers with a much better shooting percentage. Free throw line, Challengers 7 for 10, that's 70%. Hosanna 2 for 6, just 33%. So Hosanna really struggled shooting the basketball tonight, both at the free throw line and from the field. Turnovers 15 for Hosanna Christian to just 4 for the Challengers. So the Challengers doing a good job taking care of the basketball as well. And that's going to win you some basketball games when you play good defense and take care of the basketball. Scoring, first for Hosanna, Mikey Young had 8 points, Dakota Deal with 9, and Blake Thorne had 2. And those are the only 3 guys that scored in the basketball game for them to get them their 19 points. For Cascade Christian, Cody Reese had 4 points, Marincus with 7, Braden Coppage had 8, Morgan Law doing most of the damage, as we mentioned. He had 20 points tonight for Cascade Christian. Austin Maurer had 10, and Daniel Nearing had 3. So the Challengers doing a good job. Still not shooting the ball all that well from the field, but doing a good job of defensively playing very well and shooting well enough to, to take the victory.
Absolutely. Well, it's, again, there are a lot of positives you can take away from the game in terms of the lack of turnovers. Again, you figure now the most they've given up in a game defensively is 20 against South Umpqua. So that defense, it's always the calling card, a staple of the Brian Morse Challengers over these last 32 seasons. You can tell it's very much intact, that these guys are bought into it, and that is something that'll serve them well because, again, if we assume now that their next game is against Brookings Harbor on Thursday night, that's going to be a tough place to play, and they've got athletes there.
And as I said, I don't think the Challengers have won. Even last year when they took second in state, they did not win over at Brookings.
And
they went there twice, if you remember right.
Right.
And one of them was for that play-in or play-off game at the end of the season, and they didn't win that one either. So, the Challengers, it's a tough place to play. It just is.
But I think based on this game, you can see they've got some positive things to build off of. They're only going to get better. You mentioned the 37% from the floor. One of the things I look for that tells me if a team has potential to shoot the basketball well is how do they do from the free throw line?
Yep.
And at 70%, you'll take that at the high school level any night.
Yeah, and you can see they're taking good shots. Most of the kids are, there's good form out there. They're making the right decisions on the floor, obviously keeping the turnovers low. So the shots will start going in as the season goes along.
Absolutely. Well, that'll wrap up things here, where your final score is the Cascade Christian Challengers 51 and the Hosanna Triad Lions 19. We thank you for joining us tonight. Once again, don't forget that visit the YouTube channel. There's where you can see on-demand video of any prior live streams of Table Rock Sports, so be sure to check that out later on. For Mark McLemore and Diego Jimenez, I'm Jim McCoy. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we look forward to being with you again soon.